This call is being recorded.
All right. Thank you for your patience. And I'm recording our conversation. So please
Cool.
feel free to interrupt at any point.
Okay.
Okay, and just to confirm, you're born July 28th, 93
Yeah.
at 6:34 p.m.
Yep. Laguna Hills, California.
Laguna Hills, Cali. All right. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm so excited. I'm so fucking excited. You don't even know. I'm so excited.
All right, I'm just gonna say, thankfully you are seated because you got the type of chart where I have to be like, are you sitting down? Like, you're sitting down.
I
So,
know. Like, I have so many questions already. Like, I know. So I'm kind of familiar already with astrology because I've been learning it since I was a teen. But I'm just gonna let you flow and do your thing. I just know I got a lot of stuff in my chart. All the houses, different planets. Yeah.
well, please feel free to interrupt me at any point to ask anything or mention anything. Please don't
Okay.
hesitate. Okay, now, first of all, I was gonna say, just the fact that you're born in '93, you a gangster. Like you're part of a very, very, very extraordinarily strong generation. I always peep that. Like I look for the first like 90 to 95. That's a certain vibe, and then anything after 95, okay, and then anything before, it's like okay, like the structure or whatnot. But you specifically, you have Saturn squared your Pluto.
Yeah.
You're screwed. And I don't mean to say that respectfully. I say that as a generation. It's kind of like y'all got the short end. Y'all are strongest. Y'all are easily the strongest. Like this is cosmic energy and pure energy. But does it feel like coming into the Saturn return, you're having to? It's like you're having to inherit the impurity and ills of the old generation while coming of age, and then like step into a new future. And what I mean by that too is that taboo energy with Pluto square. It's like you have the progressiveness of Aquarius. Your chart is incredible, by the way. It's sorry to bring this up, but you have the incredibleness, right, or the progressiveness of Aquarius, but Pluto and Scorpio is so taboo. I like to think of an example of this as like the OnlyFans generation. So it's like you're working with Saturn, but Pluto to that is you're using sex to work with that. And like the older generation could look at that as like, oh, that's horrible. But this is the generation that goes off on the older generation. Like, I know you're not talking because you got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And not to be like petty like that, but like, just to really note that intensity. I like to joke and be like, out of Saturn, Cap, Aqua, and Pisces, y'all got the short end of the stick because it's like you have to deal with the square, and it's just some stuff that as a kid you knew what it was, but no one in the older generation would listen to you, and now the Saturn return is like, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, and then you have to deal with it. Y'all have to deal with it. So, I mean, I'm framing it like it's a bad thing, but actually this is the strongest thing. This is as a Capricorn rising set to secure you a level of wealth in this lifetime as you return this that's going to last a lifetime. It could have been pre-Saturn return, the source of limiting, confidence and self-esteem. And we're going to go because you got one of the strongest second houses I see.
Yo, I was gonna ask you about that because I was been kind of definitely. I don't want to say struggling, but I can feel the Saturn return activating with my second house, and yeah, it's been a big theme going on in my life, and so that was one of the questions I was gonna ask you is Saturn and Aquarius in my second house, on top of all the planets that I've been born under that are retrograde, that are all the outer planets too.
Yeah. And well, that's actually the very first thing that I wanted to really step into this reading with you. You, my friend, are alien gang. You're
I know. Yeah,
right.
I researched all that. I don't think I'm a power alien. It's more of like it's one of the other two, I believe.
The
Because
instrument alien.
what is it?
The instrument alien.
Okay. Yeah, because of that Neptune and Uranus in my first house, man, right on the ascendant. Oh my
That is
goodness.
okay. So powerful. And like it's very understated how powerful that is.
Hmm.
You just being a Capricorn rising in and of itself is a big deal because now you are the director and so you manifest Aquarius. You manifest like cosmic energy and value at a collective level where you got knowledge, right? You have this high royal sense of value, but you having and being an instrument of this psychic power, and then 93, y'all got the exact conjunction, like 19 degrees, like that is a once in a lifetime fusion of just the most psychically powerful energy power in Capricorn. So to be an instrument of it, which I know you researched it, but I'm gonna just reference it when I send it to you again. But
Yeah,
being
yeah.
an instrument, you're literally an extra dimensional channel to realm outside of this, you know, reality that your body literally attunes it. So people are probably more psychic around you. But here's the coolest part. This I've never really said this to anybody. This you're in a rising sign sense, the first person that I've had the honor of sharing this with. I'm gonna share you a link to the Inside Degree website that goes in on degrees. How sure of you are you of your time of birth?
Say that one more time. My time of birth.
Yeah, how sure are you of your time of birth?
I'm pretty confident. My mom knows exactly what time was. She has my birth certificate, and it's been the consistent time that I've known and has been spoken about since I started asking about it. It's always been 6:34 p.m. It's never faltered. It's never been any guessing. So that's what I've always
Oh
used.
my goodness, that is amazing. Okay, so and thank you so much. So
Mhm.
that means your rising sign is 15 degrees Capricorn. So on top of this is very important. We're making a very important psychological profile because we know that
Mhm.
you're the director. Capricorn rising, you are the height of collective power, and it's important to establish. For example, I am a Taurus rising, so I'm an individual natural king, and I have Gemini in my second house, which is the individual second house. It's an individual air sign. So
Mhm.
the way I manifest value, I'm talking one on one with you.
Yeah.
But you're literally the highest level of it, where you're collective. Virgo social, but you're the collective rising, and you manifest the collective air. So instead of just being one on one, this could be writing or what you do. It's like writing a book. Actually, we can even, as an analogy, say the Saturn return is your bestseller, and you write that book, and millions of people read it and are inspired with it. But you're manifesting such knowledge and also network because you can connect and know so many people. But it's cool because your sun is in Leo, so you're the main character. This is really dope. And then you got the ascended moon and Sag. Like there's so many aspects of your chart. Your soul is literally chosen by destiny, and that's on another level. So we're gonna set this up, but we just want to so far really set the tone that okay, as this director who's progressed into High Queen, who really are you? And now we see at 15 degrees, when you get the recording from WeTransfer, you'll see everything in the notes, all the
Okay.
links there. And so
Yeah.
the degree says Capricorn 15, a woman wearing a necklace of skulls,
Mhm.
feminine power of the deepest. Well, you know what? You'll be able to see that. Feminine power of the deepest time, ancient,
Mhm.
impressive, and formidable, standing for the dark goddess, authoritative, proud, and knowledgeable, can be attracted to pouring on the power and becoming personally identified with dominant behaviors. Uh, then there's lack of compassion, very little forgiveness, not generous spirited, and that's really just more the Capricorn part. But imperious, demanding, and not to be denied. It's sparked by wakeful seeing, redemptive, and cauterizingly renewing, but it's captured by old pictures, autocratic, ideological, and retaliatory. The perfect soul gift for those with pure intention, otherwise, of course. But what I wanted to really speak on is that's the degree of the dark goddess, and that's the I think the crone archetype in the triple goddess
I don't know what
lore.
any of that.
All
What
right,
is
that's
that?
cool. That's cool. So basically, if you there's in certain mythology the three aspects of the goddess, where the eldest level is the crone, who's the woman who's come into all the wisdom, but she's serious about her
Mhm.
business. Basically, like a Dom Capricorn woman who you're not messing with, and like but the thing here with the crone aspect is also deep feminine power that
Mm.
doesn't have to be masculine because it just
That sounds a
commands
lot like me. A lot like me. A lot of the stuff you're saying is pretty on point. And the fact that how you started channeling about a book, which is interesting because so my boyfriend, he is also an author as well. And so how you're talking about a book on the entire
that.
collective
Ooh,
and like expressing that he's essentially writing a book and I'm helping him with it because I can channel the information about understanding how energetics work, tapping into the Akashic records. That's another thing you gave me chills about because I tap into the Akashic records. I've done like donation based readings and stuff like that for people. So
wow.
all of that. Anyways, he's writing a book about the history of humanity and the prehistory with the Anunnaki and things like that, and how we understand energy and multi dimensions and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of
What's
yeah.
the zodiac sign?
He's a Taurus, but that's all I know because he's adopted, and I don't. And he's like
Word.
astrology. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure your rising or your moon sign says something about why you like that. Please don't even.
No, I appreciate that. You're both fixed signs too. That and that Taurus is your fifth house, so he like opens up your heart and like creativity. But as a
Mhm.
Leo, you probably also look up too. So that's amazing. So we know that. Uh, so I really grateful for you mentioning the channeling too, because that's that's everything that Pluto has recently awakened.
Mhm.
2020, you went through the brand new first house chapter,
Mhm.
and congratulations, by the way, because now Jupiter going through Aquarius is chapter two. It's opening up your capacity to just make bank, because Saturn there is like bank account money, and that was dumb to say, but like bank
Yeah.
money, like corporation money, like but like
I
real,
hope
like,
so. I hope so
well,
because when you
okay,
mentioned about like Saturn and Aquarius, the thing is like, and then going back to Leo, and then obviously you see my Chirons in Leo. Like, I have been
yeah,
struggling with trying to always fit into the mold of everything, like whether it's working in corporate or following the route of university and all that stuff, and kind of rejecting more of my actual aptitudes that are not of the conventional. But like with COVID especially and all that, like what is conventional anyways? Like nothing, everything's breaking
right.
down. We're gonna have to redo everything. So it's like I'm starting to embrace my actual aptitudes and wanting to be more a part of the collective and what I understand about people and society versus me trying to fit into something that you know that is already crumbling anyways, and that's not necessarily where my gifts are. So you're pretty on point with what you're mentioning when it comes to that. Yeah.
And you know what? I love that you said your gift, because first of all, we know that you've gone through a nodal opposition, and the South Node is going to unlock your career. It's going to go over Pluto, and it's going to manifest your heart's desires, but more so like your your natural talent and being able to
Hmm.
live off that. You live off your true lifestyle with the North Node conjunct, which is actually amazing. But then Jupiter's coming into your third house in Pisces, and that's going to
Hmm.
unlock and evolve your gift and your talent relative to this new cycle. And I just want to speak on your second house, because this is establishing with the return new autonomy, where Kylie Jenner is a Leo with a Cap rising, and her being a billionaire pretty much has a lot to do with Jupiter in her second house. And yeah, she's born later in the 90s, so she has a much more viral nature with it, but both of you share in the same quality, that you monetize networks and collectives of people. Whereas Jupiter expands her reach very quickly because of her influence, Saturn takes its time. So you're establishing like generational wealth through the use of social media, but mainly just the people who you know. And even if we take that element out, your quality of writing and anything Aquarian, which also now indicates superpowers, because now since you're channeling Uranus and Neptune, the ruler of your second and third house are on your first. You literally are instruments of them. So everything that you write down, you're literally manifesting into reality. As a Leo sun, you're as a performer, literally bringing people into your performance and play. And as a Capricorn, directing and narrating the set. And so this is where uh, I love the trine of Venus because that integrates very beautifully how to polish your lifestyle and lighten how truly you express this. And then Jupiter in the 10th is opening up so much expansion towards how you present this to the world. Your MC in Scorpio now means that the legacy you're coming into is rulership. The ruler of your MC in 10th house is in the 11th, but in Scorpio and its dignity. So this this is what this means really, especially as a Capricorn rising. My Libra friend with this is a Freemason and, secret society, secret Scorpio society 11th. But this really just means you're going to develop a cult following. And that means that the devotion and intensity of how you show up for people to really represent purely, which is why you have this eighth house Leo energy, because this is like Whitney Houston showing up and people are just super obsessed. And so like now your security guards need the blicky nose shooking. So like the Chiron is a lot of vulnerability with the square to Pluto to Saturn. That I believe is one of the harshest, most intense Chiron positions you can ever have. It's bleeding your heart vulnerably for people who hate on you indiscriminately and just still not attach that. Not that some people aren't real, because not everybody is evil, but like you can see into the evil. And despite that, you bring that Chiron and heal people, just like the strength card. It's like
Mhm.
you can see someone hating on you and still, heal them because you see beyond that. Not that you feel like you're above it all, but like if you did, that is mainly too because your soul is transcendent. So you do have this goddess soul of destiny. But the Moon in Sag, Moon in Cap, Moon in Aqua, Moon in Pisces are the God souls, the supreme souls. But this is next level because you have a soul destiny, a destiny soul. There's the South Node destiny soul and the North Node. So your entire destiny path is leading you into the unconscious realization.
Can you say that one more time?
No, you're totally right. Your entire destiny path
Yeah.
is the adventure into the unconscious realization of your own soul as the creator of your destiny.
Mm.
And it's linking your heart and how you express your heart to understand that meaning from the soul. Because it's interesting. Okay. I'm just now seeing you have Mars in Virgo. So Mars in Virgo helps you understand how to make sense of the meaning of what you're experiencing. So to put that in context, you're walking into a room and bam, your soul has already seen the meaning of everything that's going to happen in the next moment. There's nothing normal about this, by the way, because you're not like inductively reasoning. You're not being like, okay, this person did this person did that, and based on all of that, I can reason that. No, you already know. You already have the knowledge. You have the total knowledge of what's happening. You synced it. It's kind of like That's So Raven, but instead of seeing flash visions, it's like you can press rewind. But maybe it's just like an instant feeling, right? And as you're feeling that, you're seeing that. So that is interesting because now Venus in Gemini is unlocking. Because the interesting thing here is the South Node is in Gemini, but the North Node's been traveling Gemini. So the South Node in Gemini is unlocking this understanding of which the South Node is your talent. So Venus in Gemini is, yeah, you might be a strong writer, but now Venus in Gemini is the creative writing aspect, the ability to make your words pop and to engage the reader and be like, oh my gosh, this is actually fun. And so you're using that as a resource to fill the words in for the meaning of your soul. And the way that works for me is Gemini is the word in the dictionary and Sagittarius is the meaning of the word. So you're also feeling into in the 12th house a transcendent understanding of how everything you feel, the meaning of connects everyone. The thing here is, especially with Neptune and the rising, thankfully, ruler of your 12th is in the 10th, but there's no way that you can express how you truly feel and it not sound delusional at AF. Even the people who like mean well. And the thing is, it's not delusional. It's just so ascended. This is really soul ascension that you're destined to really. And the 12th house is kind of like a martyr's destiny because you have to be okay with being misunderstood, but also it's really more for the less fortunate or for everyone involved. And that's not even the right way to say it. There's a deeper element here. In Sag, it's also becoming, but it's really you being destined to understand this moon position, but more so you being a vessel to hold space and maybe even shift the destiny of people as simple as people being true. Because what you also do here is you align people's behavior and lifestyles. Like you can offer the truth, or you could be like, hey, maybe you could do what A, B, and C a little different, and that will unlock them to the deeper meaning of their entire spirituality. Because
Mhm.
it's like helping them align their lifestyle within light and truth and whatnot. But I want to say more deep, but anyway, Mars in Virgo is going to be more of that pinpoint analytical. So it's like you have the best of both worlds. You can still analyze. And I didn't even notice you had Mercury in Cancer because Mercury in Cancer takes your physiological, because like with Neptune so close, your body will just give you a sense of how full of crap people are, how legit people. And then Mercury can communicate that emotionally and sincerely, rather. And it's really dynamic, these powers that you have. So in the eighth house, this is taking that knowledge that you have in the second, but you're creatively giving it to people. But Pluto has that intensity, which as the Uranus is in the fifth, it's just like being really mindful of the irrational jealousy or just hatred. It doesn't always. It's either going to be obsessive love or like hatred, but it's kind of overcoming that. And I feel like it could feel like a curse of Leo or Aquarius, mainly Leo, because
Mhm.
it's like being the performer on stage and like people either obsessively reacting, but it's also the purest energy too. So it's really coming into that purity. Other than that, Sagittarius season, we're really going to cover more what your knowledge you're manifesting relative to this destiny. And that's just super badass because this is the ascended queen, the ascended solar queen as the director, the ascended
Mhm.
courage that you're showing people the higher element of this inspiration. But I don't want to be really vague with this because there's a specific application to this that is unlocking an entirely more efficient way to channel that understanding and pimp lifestyle. Like just by saying with the word, it's like a form of reality working and voice differs. And you starting to notice more the causality with prayers and calling on angels and really living more in an enlightened lifestyle. Did you have any questions at all?
Yeah, I did. So my main questions was being born under 4 planets in retrograde, understanding more about my alien instrument, and
Yeah.
then having Uranus and Neptune in my first house because I know Neptune can be a lot of delusionment, but there's also like the psychic ability in trying to ground that. And then, of course, always Saturn and Aquarius in my second house, you know, navigating that space as I feel like I hop around from thing to thing or career and whatnot. But now starting to get back into the YouTube space because some of the things you talked about, I started like podcasting a little bit here and there and
Right.
feeling more drawn to contributing to the collective and not necessarily knowing what, my voice is. And then also knowing that I have the psychic ability and channeling the Akashic. So I know that was kind of not very focused questions, but those were the things that caught my eye, especially because now my progressed moon is deep into Sagittarius in like 12th house when I look at my natal chart and transits. So there's a lot going on with like the psychic realm in my life. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on with that developing now in my life.
Yep. Pluto, especially in your first, is awakening it all. It's direct right now. So I would say that is more so the um, focus. You're manifesting the knowledge of it, and that's going to lead into you experiencing it next year as you strengthen more the quality of what you're manifesting. This is so very important. Nobody knows shit. And when I say that respectively,
Mhm.
outside of the knowledge that people have. And the reason why I have to say that is you're stepping into a leadership role in the way you understand that. When I say nobody knows crap, especially about you and how you harness it, the opposition you're going to receive is going to test how much you value your knowledge. Because what you're going to say, you're drawing from stuff outside people's traditional understanding.
Yeah.
And as you're the queen with this energy. So you're gonna have people who violently oppose or disagree. And despite whatever expertise they have, it really is meaningless because you are the energy, like you are the power. It's like imagine if you're Jesus, right?
Mhm.
And you're like, dude, it's me, I'm back. And I'm like, you're a woman and I have the Bible here. Like this is not what the Bible is saying. And it's like, okay, I get that you read this, but like I'm actually so like it's kind of like that. And as you step into that, um, you're gonna it's everything's just gonna unfold literally super magically.
Mhm.
I'm gonna send you this recording right now.